Oregon's inaugural season in the Big Ten will feature former Oklahoma quarterback Dillon Gabriel under center. JP, what do you think? How do you like the fit?
I think it fits, right? You're talking about a quarterback with an athletic skill set, a guy who is a competitor. I think that's probably his best attribute and trait. He's throwing the ball very well when he's healthy. He's a guy who is certainly an impact player. For Oregon, they want to make sure that they can ride the momentum that they've built over the last couple of seasons, in particular, as close as they got to the college football playoff this year. It seems like if they can carry that performance into next year, they'll be knocking on the door in a 12-team playoff. So I like bringing in a veteran guy who's been really productive, inserting him into that offense, and then just letting him take the reins.
You know, in real estate, they say location, location, location. And I believe for quarterbacks, fit, offense, system, that's what defines good quarterback play. And you look at Bo Nix, his career trajectory, where he was at Auburn to where he was at now. Certainly wasn't a Heisman candidate in the early portion of his career, and was the Heisman favorite at some point during the season. You look at his numbers, nearly 80% completion rate, 40 touchdowns to 3 interceptions on the season. You know, there is quarterbacks with talent that can't put up that number unless they're in the right system, though. Right. But those numbers tell me a story that if you're a veteran with experience and you're willing to learn, which I believe Dillon Gabriel is, then he's going to be in position to have very, very similar numbers. Oregon, as a program right now, they're just operating at an extremely high level. And what a huge get for the Ducks, as we talked about, just now entering the Big Ten. They got their most important piece figured out in their quarterback, JP.
It's the thing that I've been talking about with these newcomers to the Big Ten. I think their success is going to be defined on the ability to replace the productive outgoing quarterbacks, and Oregon is on their way with Dillon Gabriel.
Okay, so it leads into another good conversation because Dillon Gabriel has been around the block. This is not his second school. This is his third school in 6 seasons. Transferring all over the place. Are we past the point of return with where the transfer portal is?
Yes, absolutely. You see almost 1,300 players in the portal right now, and there's a door into the portal. There's not always a door out, and so we'll see where some of these guys end up landing. My biggest thing is I start to look at how collegiate careers are defined, or how they were defined at least at one point in time. And you and I have a home. Right, you have a home in Ann Arbor. I have a home in Columbus. If anything goes wrong, we can go back, we can call on some people, and they can help us navigate the treachery that is adult life. And I look at some of these young people right now, and I would ask, where is your home? Where are you going to go? Where is your legacy built? When people hear your name, what brand resonates with that? For you, it's the Wolverine brand, the Block M. I have the Block O. Some of these cats got nothing except for a bunch of jerseys that are going to be laying in a laundry pile one day.
You know, when I retired from playing, I mean, the first thing I did was reach out directly to the Michigan network. And I truly believe I know for a fact, actually, there wasn't a contact I wanted to make that I wasn't able to make immediately. People willing to help because you're part of a family. And I think the transfer portal, I'm for player mobility. I believe we've overcorrected, and I'm okay with that, right? And we were on one extreme before this. I think now we're closer to the other extreme. I do think we need to find a path forward because you're exactly right. I mean, some of these guys are 6, 7, 8 years in college, and they don't even have a degree.
That's wild.
I mean, and you talk about having a home, too. You know, that is such a big piece of this, and I don't think, like, how do you measure the cost of that?
Right.
So say, you know, in the top quarterbacks will get 7 figures. Most guys are not making that money.
Right.
So say you might make $100,000. That's a lot of cash. But the value of having the network and having a degree, how do you measure that? And who's really saying that conversation either?
You brought up in the when we were having our meetings, Brandon Joseph, played at Northwestern, All-American safety, transfers to Notre Dame, never hear of the guy again. So he was at 2 of the most prestigious universities in North America. Where is the guy right now? Does he have a degree from either one of these schools?
Oh my gosh.
And if he made this decision to jump in the portal to maybe get more exposure, whether it was a money thing, he might have messed up a multi-million-dollar opportunity at Northwestern to go to Notre Dame where it didn't pan out. And you might have made a couple $100,000 in the process. And this kid was a phenomenal player, somebody I really enjoyed. Obviously a smart kid to be able to get into either one of those universities. But my goodness, what are we doing right now?
He is the perfect example to just show the other side of this, right? You know, what did he make in NIL? $100,000, a quarter million, that is a lot of cash. But the network of Northwestern and Notre Dame is worth millions over your lifetime. A degree from either of those places is worth millions. Can you really call Northwestern, your family at Northwestern? I might say, hey, well, you left us. Sorry, man, you left us. Notre Dame, hey, you didn't really do anything for us, right? Not only that, he hurt his NFL draft stock, right? You're a star on Northwestern's defense. Did barely even play it at Notre Dame.
Doug, I think about this all the time, but my freshman year was really tough, and had I been a guy who was like, I need to run from it, I don't know if my life would look anything the way it looks right now. I'm on TV. Part of the reason why is because I was a national champion at Ohio State. When I first left the league, I got into business, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I was killing it because I was in Columbus, Ohio, a familiar face that people wanted to work with. And I feel like that is lost upon young people. They don't have the perspective, but I don't think the adults are giving them that perspective either, and that's the shame of all of this.
That's the conversation that needs to be had in order to correct and find balance from where we were to where we are now. Somewhere in the middle is the